Welcome to my channel. My name is Natalie and I'm super excited to have you with me today. Our topic for today was a question by one of my followers where she asked, how do you deal with or manage toxic family members? And that is what I would like us to talk about today. We're going to be looking at 5 things you can start doing to help you manage those toxic family members who are giving you a hard time. Some of them are unconventional, but trust me, it works. Let's get right into it. Number 1, get comfortable with not being liked. You're about to embark on a very interesting journey. I don't want to say a difficult journey, but it's not going to be well received by a lot of people. And if you're still struggling to be seen as a good person and you're still struggling not to be hated or not to be unliked by members of your family, which I know can be very difficult because, family is where our safe space is supposed to be. It's where we're supposed to find comfort from all the challenges of the world. But when they are not offering that, or some members of your family are not offering that, but instead are contributing to the stress that is already on this earth, they are affecting your mental health negatively, they are stressing you out and causing you a lot of grief. You have to prioritize taking care of yourself. When you shift into self-preservation mode, I find out that it becomes easier to deal with toxic family members. So first thing, condition yourself and tell yourself, this journey is for me. If you don't do this, you're going to go about explaining yourself and draining your energy. And believe me when I tell you, it's not worth it. Tell yourself, this journey I'm about to embark on is for my health, it's for my well-being, it is for my sanity. And I'm going to prioritize myself above all else because I matter. You need to say this to yourself because you're about to do some things that will make people uncomfortable. Number 2, start setting boundaries. I know setting boundaries can be really difficult, especially with family members. It's easier to set boundaries with strangers on the street, with your colleagues in the office, and maybe with friends. But when you're dealing with your mother, your father, your uncles, aunties, siblings, it can be really hard. A lady shared a story where she was expecting her older sister to come and visit her. And she said she wasn't comfortable. A lady shared a story. She's in a different country and she was expecting her younger sister to come and live with her. Now, she was scared of living with her sister because the way her sister lives, her values, and the things she does are not in alignment with who she is as a person. And she was thinking about not letting the sister stay at all. Well, this was my advice. Instead of completely stopping her from coming to stay with you, why don't you set strong boundaries? Tell her what you like. Tell her what you don't like. Tell her what you're comfortable with. It could be something like, you're my sister and I would love to support you in any way I can. However, these things you do, I'm not comfortable with. And if you're going to be living with me, I would appreciate you don't do them anymore, or you don't do them around me. This is a boundary. By doing that, she has just set a strong boundary and can also add consequences to that behavior just in case the sister doesn't listen to her and goes ahead and does those things. We're going to talk about that much later. Boundaries are very powerful. They teach people how to treat you. Imagine you are an item on a shelf and you do not have a cost or a price tag on you. People will walk into that shelf, hold you with their dirty hand. It doesn't matter if you're diamonds or whatever. People will treat you like glass. This is why it is so important not only to have boundaries, but to communicate them, to enforce them in your life. Because people are always going to pass through your life. They may be family members, they may be colleagues at work, it doesn't matter. The most important thing you need to realize is that you matter too, and your boundaries are a way of protecting you from what is not good for you. I also see boundaries as a kind of sieve Because when people don't respect my boundaries and consistently do not take them seriously, or they consistently cross my boundaries, it means that they don't value me. So they're going to be thrown out of my life. When dealing with family members, don't be afraid to tell them what you're not comfortable with, what you don't want, what you would prefer, and the consequences when they cross your boundaries. Number 2, limit your time around such people. When you know that a family member is toxic, do your best to spend as little time as possible around them. I know it can be very tricky because you go for family dinners, you meet in different family gatherings, but when this person is constantly talking down on you, making you feel insignificant, draining your energy, I think it is high time to give them a whole lot of space. Personally, I think that one thing you could do is, if you find out that you're going to be in a space where they are and you do not have a choice about that, I would suggest that you go with someone to sort of put a barrier between you and that person, or you make sure you're never alone with them. An entire family can be very toxic. And if you're dealing with that kind of situation, then you probably don't want to go for as many functions as you do, because you need to limit your interaction with people who are not good for you. It may sound like a no-brainer, but it's usually very difficult for a lot of people to navigate this experience. Let them say what they want to say, because when you go, they still talk to you the way they want to talk to you. They still have all these negative opinions about you. Remember the first thing I said? Get ready to be disliked, misunderstood, and judged. Are you enjoying this video? Are you learning something from it? If you are, please like this video, hit the subscribe button and also the notification button so you will receive an alert anytime I post a new video. Number 4, speak up. Use your voice. A lot of us don't want to talk. We just want to disappear and ghost. You need to start using your voice. Tell people what you don't like. I know it, but you have to start somewhere. Learn to say no. Say, I'm not comfortable with this. When someone is talking negatively at you, tell them this is not okay. Being family doesn't make it okay. Tell them, I don't like the way you're speaking to me. I don't like the way you're talking to my children. I don't like the way you treat me. I don't like the way you treat my wife. I don't like the way you treat my husband. Speak up. Tell people what you are not comfortable with. It doesn't matter how they feel in that moment. Most times they know what they're doing. It's not like they don't know. Because you have refused to say anything about it, they feel it's okay, or they know it's not okay, and that's why they don't do it to everyone else. But because you have accepted it, your silence automatically means what? Consent. Sometimes you have to speak up in the middle of a conversation to let them like the trajectory of the conversation, or you're not okay with whatever it is they're saying. Speak. Number 5, the last but not the least. A bit unconventional, if I must say, but here we go. Threaten them. I know it sounds crazy, right? But hold on, it works. Let me explain. When you set a boundary and you do not put a consequence to that boundary, people are going to cross it. They're going to test you. They want to see what will happen or what you're going to do about it. That is why it is very important to add threats. And don't use this so lightly. Use it in very serious situations and when you see that there is no change of behavior. In fact, I will say that when you're setting a boundary, add a subtle threat. It may look like, Mom, if you keep speaking to my kids like this, you're not going to see them again. Whether or not you have no plans of carrying out that action doesn't matter. What matters is that you have set a boundary and you have given them a consequence of their behavior, which is the threat you have added to that boundary. When people understand that there is a consequence for their behavior, what happens is that you're giving them a choice. So if I choose to participate in this behavior, that means I'm choosing not to see my grandchildren again. Mommy, if you keep talking to me the way you talk to me, I'm not going to come home for holidays. You're not going to see me as often as you do. In fact, I'm not going to pick your calls as I do. I will call you only once a week. Now she understands that, oh, it's not okay for me to talk to my child like this. And if I want to keep talking to my child, I need to work on the way I speak to her. Whether you're speaking to your dad, your auntie, whoever it is. Learn to tell people what is going to happen if they do not discontinue with their behavior. Like I said earlier, if you keep quiet, silence means consent. When you're dealing with toxic family members, silence is not golden, it is destructive. Try out these tips and come back and share with me in the comments how it went for you. Now, don't forget that you can use these tips whether you're dealing with family members, co-workers, or any kind of relationship in your life. And before you go, if you want to learn more about how to deal with toxic people, how to identify them, how to manage your relationship with them, or you want to learn about narcissists, energy vampire, and different kinds of toxic people, I have a book titled Break Free: How to Identify and Manage Toxic Relationships. I'm going to drop the link in the description below, so grab yourself a copy. And just as it has transformed the lives of so many people across the world, I'm sure it can do the same for you. I haven't been consistent for a while, and I'm working on being more consistent by making my YouTube videos. So please share with me in the comments any questions you have or what it is you would like me to talk about. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll know the next time I post a video. See you in the next video.